Behind me is Old Lock 24. This is the end of this project and the start of an exciting 2 years of construction for the Lichfield Canal. Join me to find out more. So across the road from Old Lock 24 is going to be New Lock 24, and the reason for this is the road needs to drop because they can't put a humpback bridge in. Now this is all starting, I've covered this a few times, but this is all now starting, and a lot of work is going to happen in the next sort of 18 months to 2 years. One of the first projects is, behind us there is a huge development by Persimmon homes, and as part of it they're paying for this bridge to be replaced. So there's going to be a culvert underneath. So right behind us now they are frantically digging and trying to get as much done as they can up until the point where the culvert's going to take over. Now this is being built by Staffordshire County Council but funded by Persimmons, and this leads into quite a section of canal here which is going to take the Lichfield Canal up and around kind of into a new route. They can't follow the old route that's been built on. So I want to just have a look today with some people from the trust who are going to tell us exactly what's happening. The first bit though is here. So we're probably 2026 when this is going to happen, when a lock is going to be dug out of here. I think they've still got to fund it. They are trying to get funding for this section, but as always, your support helps massively, so please do take a look at the links in the description and see if you can sign up for the trust. So lock in here, and then it comes up to the original level through here. So as we walk away from the lock there, we are into, this is going to be one of the last sections to be done. The estimated completion is summer 2026, so that may change a little bit. These things always do. So this isn't going to be first because obviously the work going on behind on the bridge and the lock, so they are going to start a bit further up and work back towards the existing canal up here. So let's take a little walk a bit further up, and we're going to meet some members from the trust and see what's happening. So this next section is going to be the first of the projects happening down here, and this is due to start very soon, probably January time, where there's a lift bridge here, and that's going to lead into the Gallows Wharf section, which is going to be the first bit that's going to be dug out and potentially filled. We're not too sure about that. But right here is the location of it. And you can see, I just put some ideas in. You've got the footpath comes across here. This wasn't originally a bridge here, but this has been added for the housing estate behind. So they need to put something here for people to cross the canal. So let's talk to Pete and Derek now and see what the plan is.
Here we are at the site of the lift bridge on Tamworth Road. It became a lift bridge when we tried all the other options for a fixed bridge and found that none of those were really practical, given that you've got houses either side and you've got the chip shop and other retail area on this side. There wasn't enough room to fit ramps in to get the necessary height and make it all work, so we ended up opting for a lift bridge. The lift bridge is slightly skewed at this position so that it picks up the towpath or the footpath on that side and comes across to roughly where I am here, and will lift up in this direction and gives full access from both towpaths and the access in the canal walk into the town. We've obviously got a footing to put in for the lift bridge here with the two masts. We're currently talking to and have appointed a contractor to build the structure. We as a trust have to put in the substructure, and we will have to extend the steel sheet pile walls to make the channel and make that all work through here. So exciting times.
And this is a public footpath. We have to retain this. It has to be available for use at all times. And so during construction, we have to provide a temporary diversion for it so it can be used. And the temporary diversion is just going to be over here. And that creates a space to build the lift bridge. The funding for the lift bridge was raised by public appeal, which went really, really well, and has covered all the costs that are going to be incurred. We have a contractor who's designed the bridge to our requirements and is currently preparing to fabricate the parts. They're going to be built on their site and tested to make sure everything works, and then by spring of next year we should be on site, putting the bridge in place and it will then be there for permanent use. We can then remove the temporary diversion and everything is back to normal.
So what they've then got to do is start doing some piling on this side here, because as you come up through here, it's going to be too narrow if they leave the slope and bank in. So the first part of it will be piled, and I think the rest of this will be largely kept with some piling up towards the lift bridge over there. They have got the big pipe in here, which is just here. Somewhere below us here is a manhole, and then you've got the pipe there that you can see. So that then runs back into the bank and across and underneath here. So that can't be removed, so they're going to have some sort of a ramp across here just while work's going on. And I think if they do fill this section, they might just sort of bund it here so they can remove the pipe at a later date. They can't remove that until it kind of all works up to here, so they'll have to remove it at Lock 24 first and then slowly remove it as they come up through sections. And then we get to the wharf itself. So this is called Gallows Reach. So behind here there's a petrol station on the other side of these houses somewhere. That was the gallows over there at one point, so the wharf obviously got its name from that. Now, they are currently digging this out, and this isn't to dig out the channel, this is to allow access through here to the lock on the other side. There's a digger in there at the moment, and it's almost to the top there, so without digging that channel out, they just can't get access. They don't want to go up from the road, because they'll just be tracking mud onto the road and causing a bit of a difficult junction there. So coming through to the other side of the bridge now, we go into the next lock. Now, this is a very, very interesting project, and one that has like a kick in it. So they couldn't build a straight lock. Now, if you look through here, you can see just how narrow it gets here, and this is a pinch point. And I'll let Peter Buck explain exactly what's going to happen here.
Here we are at Lock 23, Heritage Lock 23, and we're about to start some of the investigatory work here to move it forward so we can get the planning and move on to construction phase. Today, in front of us here, basically you've got the site of the old Lock 23 as it was. It's been the tops have been taken down when they backfilled the canal in the early days. We've established where it is, and it runs straight in line and clashes with the road. So unfortunately, this is the point at which we have to make adjustments to the lock so that we can use it. So boats will go in at the lower level and then come out on a different direction to go down the very narrow channel through what we've described for a long time is the pinch point to get them into the rest of the canal. So there's lots of work to do here. A lot of services have been put in with the help of the developer. They've put services all down the towpath here. The big pipe itself I'm standing on here, which was basically put in when they abandoned the canal to take the residual water, that has been rebuilt by the road guys, and that's now on the other side of the road, and it comes into this manhole here, and eventually this will all be taken, all the big pipe will be taken out, so that will go straight into open canal water.
So one thing that's been done very well on this canal is the joined up thinking I always talk about. Now, the housing developers, Persimmon, have been very good here. They've involved the canal quite a lot in their developments. They get more money for their houses, the canal gets their canal, which is great. And the council have also been very good. This was all old council land, but I'll let Derek explain a bit more now.
Well, this is the St John's section of the canal running from London Road Bridge in that direction up to the railway in that direction. The land was originally brought from British Waterways by Lichfield City Council, and it was kept by them as a public open space for the benefit of the people of Lichfield. Unfortunately, at the end of the 1960s, they infilled the canal for safety reasons, replacing it with the pipe. But they've kept it ever since in this state as a public open space. But gradually, working with them, it's been agreed that we would take over this section of land from St John's, and that's been done in conjunction with Persimmon Homes. Persimmon Homes first took the land in order to get the bypass built and the start of the development over here, and then when they had finished that work, the idea was the land would then transfer to us, this full width in order to get the canal in, and also some good landscaping and improvements on the section as well.
The best way to show this area is to look at this tree here, just behind me here. Now this tree has been planted and shouldn't have been planted there. They're going to have to move this tree because this section here is 3.5 meters wide. And that's what, 11 odd foot? It's not very far to get a canal which needs 7 foot for a boat, plus sides and walls and towpath through. So this is why this lock is going to be such a peculiar design, and it's probably the only one in the country. I don't know of another lock that has to turn inside the lock to get the boat out. So it's going to be another very unique area on this canal for tourism. I mean, tourism is a great thing to bring people into these restorations and bring people into the town. So it's really good that the Lichfield are using such good engineering solutions to get around problems rather than just giving up. And these engineering solutions take a lot of work behind the scenes, and it's volunteers like Peter Buck and his team, and now Chris Bailey, who's taken on that role, that really make these projects go forward and really make them possible. And it's just amazing to see that even kind of, 100 years nearly after it was abandoned, several hundred years since it was built, these amazing solutions are still being found to get these canals running. So you can see this tree is just here on these plans, and the lock itself is about a boat length distance from here, where it opens up then into this sort of pound area. This then goes through, it goes under, there's several more locks, and then eventually takes you to a railway bridge. Now, the railway bridge is going to be a problem. That's a solution that needs to be thought of. They've got the sections down at Darnford Moors to do that, but they don't have the money as such in place to do it. The other side of that is a roundabout, and there's already a bridge underneath there sorted, and most of the bridges are sorted all the way through, apart from I think one more which needs to be done on the lane further up. It's going to be 2 separate bridges there, not a whole tunnel through, but it's kind of like these culvert sections which are precast going in underneath there. This is quite a good drawing of what it's going to look like after. But yeah, this is an exciting couple of years ahead for the Lichfield Canal. Every time I come here, I comment about how well they're doing and how fast they're progressing. But in 2 years' time, hopefully, we're going to have a whole new section of canal with locks and bridges and all sorts all installed. So do keep an eye out on the channel. Do keep an eye out on the Lichfield channel. They've got a very good YouTube channel, and please do support them if you can. Have a great day.